Good morning and Happy New Year, Kern County. Thank you so much for starting your new year and new decade with us here at KGET.
Yeah, this morning we're taking a walk down memory lane. Over the next hour, we're going to revisit some of our favorite stories over the past decade. Mr.
Holland's Opus was a 1995 movie about a frustrated composer, Richard Dreyfuss, who finds his fulfillment as a high school music teacher.
Bakersfield's Jeff Malone finds his fulfillment in the Panama Buena Vista School District in the voices of more than 1,000 students. Here's Robin Mingren with the magic of Mr. Malone's chorus.
Mr. Malone has been teaching choir for more than 20 years, bringing his magic of music to more than 1,000 students each year. The magic, making choir the most popular activity on the Bill L. Williams campus.
You know, after I've taught for so many years, I always wondered too, that first day when they come in for tryouts, is anyone going to come? You know? I mean, are they really going to come? You know, are they really going to try out?
Ho, ho, ho! One more time.
This year alone, over 160 kids tried out for Mr. Malone's choir. 40 had to be turned away for a lack of space. But in this choir, those who make it aren't always the best singers.
Oh, I don't worry about them not being able to sing. Yeah. No, I don't care about that. If they look like they're having fun and they're enjoying it, then I don't care about the sound. It's not about that. Well, you know, when I was a child, I was pretty socially awkward. Didn't have a lot of friends, but music was one thing that I loved. With some of these kids, they may not have friends, or they may not have, they may not be the popular kids or whatever, but this is something they can come in and they can feel good about.
Ho, ho, ho! I love it. One more time. Get ready, girls. Ho, 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 ho! You're good, Altos. Jolly, ho, sing it good. Ho, ho, jolly, ho, sing it. You gotta say ho, ho.
So Mr. Malone makes magic, taking that experience and offering the class not just as an elective, but an opportunity to bring confidence and joy to kids who for years have gone without, helping each in their own way.
Anger. It makes me, like whenever I'm angry, I'll go in my room and I'll just sing and stuff.
They meet 3 times a week. Being absent is rare in this class.
Even though I'm in a football, I used to be in a football team. It's really fun because my friends don't really care that I'm in chorus, but I love it.
This choir is made up of foster kids, kids who normally sit alone at lunch, or those who find their best friend is their sibling.
So did they know you could sing?
No.
They didn't know you could sing?
No.
Do you guys always talk together?
Yes.
They become part of a family built through quarter notes and choreography, and the magic of Mr. Malone.
We'll continue on the music theme this morning. A local junior high school teacher is being thrust, or was thrust, into the national spotlight after penning a catchy tune about Facebook.
Here's Kelsey Thomas from 2010.
What he likes, he don't know she's watching. She's not logging on.
In the song, the girl is logging on as her friend. She's able to track more or less a Facebook lover this way. She's basically stalking him.
Most people are on Facebook these days, but even if you're not, you can relate to looking for someone from your past. And now Ernie Lewis is singing about it in his new song, Facebook song, She's Not Logging On.
Every status, every comment, every picture, every like, every link to everything she's liking what he likes.
Lewis says it all started 2 weeks ago when a friend from the 90s got in touch with him over Facebook.
She told me that she had a Facebook song, and she asked me if I would take a look at it.
Lewis says after a little rewriting and composing, he posted it where else? On Facebook. Some of the first ones to hear the song were the custodians at Beardsley Junior High.
He don't know watching.
It's a lot of rhythm, and you can dance to it, and it's a lot of fun. The kids are feel like part of the family when you have the teachers being young and singing.
The song is now being played on a radio station in Arkansas.
Next thing you know, they got such a good response from the listeners that they said, we're going to go ahead and air it 3 times a day. Then yesterday, they said they're going to air it 6 times a day. And then since then, another radio station actually in Vermont started playing it.
And the requests for his tune keep coming in.
Chelsea Lately's folks are interested in the song, and it's on a FedEx truck right now headed to Los Angeles.
Lewis isn't sure if he will be following that FedEx truck to LA just yet. For now, you can find him in his classroom.
We'll just have to see what live brings.
Kelsey Thomas, 17 News.
Bakersfield, of course, is known for its country music and legends like Merle Haggard and Buck Owens.
But there's another award-winning Bakersfield sound that sounds nothing like the Bakersfield sound. 17's Danny Freeman has that story.
2-time Grammy winner Gregory Porter has performed in front of sold-out crowds all over the world, from New York's Carnegie Hall to London's Royal Albert Hall. But he started on the streets of Bakersfield.
When you hear that, when you hear that soulful sound in any of my songs, that comes from these long prayer services that we used to have in churches around Bakersfield.
Well, they build their houses.
Gregory Porter is pure Bakersfield.
39 years ago, we came here and I went to school at Eisler Elementary and was there until 5th grade. And then I switched over to Colonel Nichols, and then I went to Chipman Junior High, and then Highland High School.
But off the football field, the former homecoming king felt a connection on the streets, inside churches, in alleys.
Take me to the alley.
It was very colorful. Alley-oop, Skokat, Frenchie, Chief. Frenchie used to walk around with, he used to cut people's hair. He walked around with like 6 pairs of scissors hanging from his belt, you know, and he walked slow and his hair was always immaculate. You know, I always say when I pass by somebody with this enormous character, I always say, they're not making those anymore. They're not making those types of people anymore.
And it was in this environment that you first started singing.
It was in this environment that I started to sing. My mother used to bring the PA system out onto the street, and I would sing to people on the street.
For Gregory, his mother Ruth was his biggest inspiration.
She grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana, but the family moved from the South.
Weight of love on my shoulders.
But she was a young girl, and she picked cotton in Bakersfield when she was a teenager.
A minister herself, Ruth led by example, showing kindness that would influence Gregory's songs. One church was on Union Avenue.
She would go out, she would drive, and she would invite the prostitutes to come in. She's like, I got some food for you, and, you know, there's going to be some singing, and, you know, and they would come. And that was my audience as well. So, yeah, take me to the alley.
But it's holding on, and it's holding strong.
That energy, cultural energy, food culture, worship culture, the religious culture, musical culture, that is what I was touched by as a young person, singing in the churches in Bakersfield. And that's what I take to stages all over the world.
But life was not easy.
And I have an empathy inside of me to help people who have been pushed down. And I have that because it has happened to me. I've been called names, and my family was attacked. And you know, we did have a cross burned on our front yard. And, you know, my brother was shot because he was black, walking home from work, coming home from Oildale. Those things did happen, but
it's holding on.
My mother
And it's holding strong.
raised us to believe that we were no better and no worse. We were equal to everybody, and we should treat everybody with respect and give everybody love, even your enemies.
Years after her passing, Porter's brother maintains Ruth's spirit to this day on Baker Street.
He's doing what my mother used to do. The name of the church is called the House of Ruth, and he gives out food on Sunday or any other time that anybody hungry wants something and they call him. He gives food and clothing and any other nutrients that he can give them.
Today, with a young son, a wife, and a puppy, the past few years have led him back to Bakersfield, to this Oleander neighborhood. Recently holding his first concert in Bakersfield in years at Cal State, benefiting Habitat for Humanity.
Coming home to Bakersfield, Mr. Gregory Porter.
Step back and admire my view.
Glad to be back in Bakersfield, and it was great to see people of Bakersfield embracing my music the same way the rest of the world does.
As Porter sings across the globe, he tells people stories of Bakersfield, as much his music as his home. Danny Freeman, 17 News.
Some great music.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back after this.